you thought that I would lay down and die. Whoa, no. Demon fangs spitting in my cup all night long. Ain't my throne of power. Oh no. I never for a second thought that I was dead. Oh no. I never for a second let you into my head. Oh. I'll take a bow and I'll show you how to survive. I bet you die, you were the love of my life. Whoa, no. I bet you thought that I would lay down and die. Whoa, no. I bet you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, two quarterbacks who have met on the grandest stage multiple times will battle once again. It's Eli Manning going up against Tom Brady. So with that, let's get up to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New York Giants and the New England Patriots. They go play action here on first down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. So after the INT, it's Manning. Oh, he's going to take a shot. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Odell Beckham with an acrobatic catch. And now we've got a stoppage and a timeout here called by the defense. It's their first of this first half as they look to regroup and hopefully stop the two-point conversion coming up. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the two. They don't get it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you don't like that call on the opening drive of the game.
It's a very strong limb that you're out on right now. Okay, hey, look, the game between college and the NFL continues to creep closer, but that is truly a college play, not an NFL play. Because you'd snap the ball from the 3-yard line there, whether it's going for one or going for two. So it makes sense to try it that way to maybe fake it. In this case, from the 15, makes 0 sense.
And now your lead's just 6-0 instead of 7-0. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. A gain of 6 there on first. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Four down.
fake the handoff. Now Brady. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Looking for his All-Pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski, and it's third down. This is the offense we're going to see coming up in this one, and LeGarrette Blount, the featured back.
The big knock on him coming out of college was his lack of speed, but it's definitely not his lack of power. He runs right through opposing tacklers and sets things up big for his offense.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead them to fourth down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. They do go for it. It's Brady. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. New York set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time.
And he's got his man, Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Giants add on to their lead. So they're going to go for 2.
Watch left, tight end to the left,
Eli's going to throw. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They've got to steal it and try and gain an advantage, and they tried. They just didn't get it done.
Last year for Edelman, just below 100 receptions, 98, over 1,100 yards, 3 touchdowns. And, you know, this is a guy that gets a lot of pub for being that perfect receiver for Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. What's his role going forward?
I think his role going forward is to be a bona fide #1 receiver in the NFL, meaning he's not just a Tom Brady receiver. He's that guy for anyone. And he spent so much time proving himself as he got into the league, just what you were talking about. Can I have a role here with New England? Now it's not just proving himself. It's continuing to develop in his craft. And I think he's going to just keep getting better and better. He never gave up on himself in his dreams, and he doesn't give up on any single play.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So let's try this again as they come to the line to go for 2. Brady will look to throw for it. And he will get into the end zone, and a 2-point conversion will cut this down to a 6-point game. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Throwing on first down is Manning. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And that'll bring up second down. So here's the starting 11, and the human highlight reel, Odell Beckham Jr., watch out for him.
One of the few guys in the league that gets you and I out of our hotel rooms early to get here for pregame warm-ups and watch it.
He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 39. Manning to Beckham, a big play there. 47 yards. They come out here in the eye. Manning now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Here's New England defensively. Last year, the #1 overall defense as far as points given up goes. And they've got a lot coming back in 2017.
Yeah, they certainly do. And let's go back to the Super Bowl. Trey Flowers, who was their leading sack guy in 2016, he had 7 in the regular season. He was a monster in the Super Bowl against Atlanta. He's back there for them. How about Dante Hightower at linebacker? His first Pro Bowl in 2016. And then just moving on back to the secondary. Devin McCourty, the guy who quarterbacks him back as safety, he's been to the Pro Bowl as a corner and as a free safety. I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch. After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And this one is incomplete.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard.
Yeah, putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there, but I like his moxie.
Manning indeed going for it on 4. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. Okay, partners, New England comes out here to take the field on offense. This is such an interesting story, how they've been able to do it year after year after year. Guys talk about parity in the NFL. Well, New England has kind of transcended that parity, and they've done it with guys that you don't normally think of as household names.
The parts keep changing for New England. That's the amazing part on offense, all right? Offensive linemen change, receivers change, running backs change. We know the one constant is Tom Brady, and that's a huge deal for them. But to be able to do it in what you call the parity times, and you're exactly right, everyone's supposed to be pretty equal. New England still a top 10 offense year in and year out. In 2016, they were #4, and that helped them with a #1 defense as well.
Now Brady taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
Blunt, the lone running back. Throwing on first down is Brady. Unable to get it to Gronkowski that time. And now it's second down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Brady now on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Brady now to throw. And this is caught. It's Edelman. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
This offense is in rhythm now, just accumulating first downs and moving the ball downfield.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now Brady again. And that's caught by Gronk for a Pats touchdown. Rob Gronkowski from 4 yards out. And the Patriots are an extra point away from going out in front. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Brady's going to look to throw. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken very short.
But that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Here come the Patriots again on offense, the Super Bowl champions, and boy, they have been able to do it a lot of times, Charles, with unsung heroes, haven't they? Look at the names that led them through the playoffs. Hogan, White, Lewis, guys you just wouldn't think of.
Yeah, Deion Lewis, a 5th-round pick, 3 touchdowns against Houston in the divisional round. Chris Hogan, undrafted. He ends up having 180 yards in receptions.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And New York set to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field. And he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now your field goal.
And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. Rob Ninkovich coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. Back near the goal line. Here's Manning. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Dante Hightower. The Patriots offense now. They work the... way back onto the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
He's got him in. Complete. It's Julian Edelman. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Gronkowski may have had to miss the Super Bowl with the injury, but he was active in that parade, and now he's back on the field. And I'll tell you what, something you mentioned to me is that he was a big cheerleader for his teammates, never hung his head through the injury, celebrated with him all the way through the title.
We've seen superstars in the past, when their team does well without them, they're happy, but they recede into the background, right? They get out of the way because it does hurt them a little bit. They do have pride. They want to feel like, hey, without me, they may take a little bit of a step back. But with Gronk, you never saw that. You saw him with him every step of the way, cheering his team on, happy for their success. They went 11-0 without him in 2016, but I know this, they don't want to try it again.
No,
they want the big fella back. Whenever I see an in route dropped as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Brady to throw for it on fourth down. And he's got Bennett. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Martellus Bennett, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Patriots have taken the lead. Brady will look to throw for it. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion. This one's caught. And it stretches their lead up to 8. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This will be taken short. And the Giants ready to come out now. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally, someone said, let's try and put a stop.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. So the offense has it 1st and 10. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
He's thrown one interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does. And that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. Noel, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's
you know
go.
I like to do that randomly.
Do
AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year, they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Blunt, the lone running back. Brady to throw on 2nd down. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, and en route, going into a little bit of traffic, maybe in the back of his mind he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Julian Edelman, the intended receiver. And 4th down coming up.
So much of his game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
Yeah, that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Here's Brady. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. Yeah, this is going to be covered up by the Giants. A gutsy call there. You exit the locker room with a lead. Tried the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They were already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now to their opponent and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
Manning now on first down. He's going to launch this thing. Wait, got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Manning to Beckham, a big play there. And even 40 yards. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Throwing is Manning. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Manning to throw on second down. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. Manning now on third and goal. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it, but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it, just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And tough starting field position here. On first and 10, here's Brady. Wide open, Julian Edelman. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Offense comes to the line now, first and 10. One receiver left, 3 to the right. Brady now on first down. He sets to fire deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Offense still needing 10 yards, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Malcolm Mitchell out of the University of Georgia was the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. Again, it's Brady. They don't have his man. That's Edelman. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And Edelman got a big game going. That's complete again. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Julian Edelman, 59 yards. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get the top speed and complete that play.
And unable to connect. They don't get the two-point conversion here. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
Yeah, this is going to be covered up by the Giants. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. Throwing is Manning on third down. He's going to go up top again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, 41 yards. And the Giants have got it back to a one-score game. It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route. Whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
Eli's going to throw. And no, it falls incomplete. So the two-point conversion, no good. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Brady now on first down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards through the air to first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. And before they can get the timeout called on the defensive side of the ball.